However, Nami does find herself in a panic, hilariously crying out for Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, or even Usopp to save her. Eventually, Nami and Usopp are cornered by the cat, which transforms into a massive lion. But just when things look grim, the monster trio arrives in a dramatic fashion. Sanji declares that for making Nami cry, the enemy deserves death, and Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji unleash a devastating combo attack that takes down the lion in an epic double-page spread. The trio, now sporting Viking outfits, makes quick work of the enemies, and we get a great nostalgic callback to chapter 162, showing just how far they've come since then. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji even defeated the giant bees and the massive ear god rabbit off-screen, and Luffy jokingly talks about how delicious the rabbit tasted. As always, Oda balances the serious moments with humor. Nami, still reeling from the chaos, hilariously notes how Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji have already adjusted to the madness of Elbaf, and there's plenty of humor at Usopp's expense, especially when Nami uses him as a human shield against the giant cat. Now that we're fully into the Elbaf arc, it feels like Usopp is overdue for some big moments. This arc has been building up for him, and after seeing what his father, Yasopp, can do, I'm hopeful we'll see Usopp step up in a major way, maybe even defeating a powerful foe. For now, though, the monster trio has taken center stage. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this chapter and where you think the hallucinations might fit in. And thanks again to Capcom for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to check out the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. The link's in the description. If you enjoyed this chapter breakdown, you won't want to miss my recent video on Oda's hints about the end of One Piece. I dive into all the major characters and factions that will play a part in the final saga, so be sure to check that out next. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. We've officially arrived on Elbaf, the island itself, and things are about to get wild. After the insane cliffhanger from the last chapter, we finally get to see what happens next. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, the monster trio, are back in action, and there's no shortage of epic moments in this chapter. So, stick around for the breakdown, and if you enjoy these One Piece reviews, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe, turning on notifications so you don't miss any future videos or updates. First, a huge shout out to Capcom for sponsoring today's video. Growing up, I was a huge fan of their games, so I'm especially excited about their latest release, the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. In this remastered collection, the original Ace prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth, makes a triumphant return. This edition includes both the first and second Ace Attorney Investigations games, now with updated HD animations. If you prefer the nostalgic feel, you can even switch to the original pixelated sprites. One of the coolest parts? Prosecutor's Gambit, the second game, is debuting in the West for the first time. Unlike the main series, in these spin-off games, you control Edgeworth as he investigates crime scenes, gathers evidence, interrogates suspects, and uncovers the truth. It's a brilliant, well-written game, packed with those satisfying eureka moments that fans of the channel will love. If you want to learn more, check out the link in the description. Now, back to the chapter spoilers. Titled Adventure in the Mysterious Land, it's finally time for Elbaf. In the cover story, we follow Yamato's pilgrimage, though the mystery of the kidnappings from the last chapter hasn't been solved yet. On the shores of Kuri, Inuarashi meets Yamato and shares that he too is troubled by the disappearances, adding to the suspense. The main chapter kicks off in a giant village on Elbaf, where even the houses are made of Lego-like blocks. A strange detail, but it could be tied to the Viking drink mentioned earlier, which causes hallucinations. We see giants shocked as giant bees fall from the sky, and talk of something happening in the forest leads us to the mystery of Ear God, a giant rabbit so massive even the giants are in awe of it. Oda seems to be having fun with Elbaf, drawing inspiration from his childhood love of Vicky the Viking, a show that helped inspire One Piece. The village is full of quirky elements, like Lego-like structures and insane giant creatures. The castle, Big Stein, made entirely of these Lego-like blocks, serves as the setting for a lot of the action, with the Yggdrasil tree, the tree of life from Norse mythology, looming in the background. Nami and Usopp find themselves in trouble, facing off against giant bees, a giant hedgehog, and even a massive cat wearing a crown, likely the king pet of the Lego castle. Nami manages to take down both the giant bee and the hedgehog, but things get intense when the hedgehog falls on the cat, electrocuting it just enough to make it furious. The pair ends up running, though Nami's attack proves she's not just a damsel in distress.